Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this Gallifreyan design. It was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these four different stems to make our consonants, and vowels are these smaller circles, and they are a bit trickier because their location changes depending on if they're enclosed inside one of these four consonant stems or if they're by themselves on just the word circle line. But anyway, this would be like where the word circle line would be relative to the vowel. So A's are outside, E's, I's, U's, same position, O's inside. And this dotted line circle is where they would be relative to these consonant stems if they were completed circles. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at this design. So in Sherman's script, you read bottom counterclockwise. So here's our bottom letter going counterclockwise. Well, first of all, you have two outer circles containing our phrase, and it's okay to break these if you want. Just know that if you put dots or lines directly on them going to the word circle, not meaning anything else, that's punctuation, which is, here. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at our first letter. So here's our word circle. And here's the bottom of it. Here's our first letter. It's a small circle, so it's a vowel. And it's on the line of the word circle, and it's got one line going towards the middle. So, like this. And that makes this an I. Continuing on, here's our next consonant stem. On it, there is just one line ending on it. So even though it crosses here, because it only ends in one location, it's one line. So only lines that count. So it's a circle inside the circle with one line, so that's an N. Continuing around, here's our next stem. And this one is a bit tricky to figure out. Well, first of all, it's in this row because it is a more than 50% completed circle. If it were 50% or less, it'd be this stem. But I like to call these omegas because they start to curve back around again like an omega. Anyway, let's count up the lines that end on it. So here's one that ends on it. This one passes through, so it doesn't count. Even though this looks like it's just one continued circle, a line ends here and a line ends here. So that's 1, 2, 3 lines ending on this, making it an F. Continuing around, here we have our next stem. And on it, there is 1, 2, 3 dots. So even though this dot is kind of like between these two, it has to go to this one because this one has lines on it and something can't have both dots and lines. So that kind of settles the deal of where this dot goes. But 1, 2, 3 dots on a 50% or less completed circle is an R. And then we have another little vowel here. If a consonant and vowel are together, you always read the consonant first and then the vowel second. So even though this A is located a little bit more clockwise, you'd still read the R first because the A is still within the R's word circle. The R's letter circle. Anyway, so we know that this is an A, not an E, because if you were to continue around the word circle, an A center is outside of it, while an E center is on the line or inside of it. So this is like the continuation of the word circle, and this A is definitely outside of that. So here we have the A, continuing around. Here we have another omega stem like this one. And on it, there's just one line ending on it. So this one passes through, so it doesn't count. So one line on an omega stem makes that a G. And now we have another little circle with one line going towards the middle. So that's an I. Continuing around, here's our next stem. So the center of this one is right about here. And even if this were enclosed, it would still be read second because this is like where this one is on the word circle and this one continues afterwards. But anyway, it's always consonant vowel. This one isn't enclosed. But here's the consonant's position, and then here's the vowel's position after that. Anyway, so that's a little clarification on the tight letter order here. Anyway, here we have a bunch of lines passing through this stem. This line passing through here, this line passing through here, line passing through here. But the only things that actually count for this, because none of the lines end on it, are these 3 dots. 1, 2, 3 dots. So it's okay to have lines end on dots. They don't count for the stem if they end on the dots. It's just 3 dots hanging out on a circle inside the circle, making that an L. And I tried to make this line pass through the dot, not through the stem, so it doesn't look like any lines end on the L. So this is just an L. And then we have another I line going towards the middle. And then we have our S, 1, 2, 3 lines on a 50% or less completed circle. So I-N-F-R-A Gilis. Woo, Latin circles.